Yeah, I know. I'm very good at editing. I have two things on one. Yep. I know I'm the best at editing. You don't have to tell me. But either way, look at the subscribed. 1%. Come on. We can do better. Please subscribe. And thank you. Roll the intro. Now, obviously, today we're going to be talking about Kung Fu Panda. I mean, if you didn't get that from, my amazing editing skills in the beginning, well, it's probably due to the fact that I'm so good at editing. You were just so, you was looking too much at the brilliance of IQs and smartness from the complex way I edit. Yeah, okay, I'm done. Alright, it's time for me to get at least a little bit serious. Kung Fu Panda is actually not a bad, movie to watch, or really any of them. And to be honest, this is the one, series, for kids or whatever, like a DreamWorks movie that you can actually watch every single one of them. Every time they come out with a new one, it's not, really bad or, worse than the last one. Yeah, everyone will always say the first movie of whatever is the best because, nostalgia and bias and stuff like that. But, from an honest standpoint, I mean, they're all good. I mean, yeah, the first one is the best, but, I mean, all of these movies stand very strong alone. Like Kung Fu Panda 2, and 3, all besides just if you put them alone, they are all still good movies. You can watch them all individually, you can watch them all at one time, and you're not gonna feel like any of them is worse than the other. Anytime I would be describing the differences between the three, I would never say one's worse than the other, just saying that one is better. I mean, I know you can always use the logic of, well, if something's better, the other one's worse, but I just wouldn't have that negative connotation towards one of these movies, because in my opinion, they're just all good. RIP headphone users, and that includes me. When I was making this video, before I had to change the volume, I turned it down a lot. It was way louder at first, and I'm not lying. I knew it was there, and I replayed it 3 or 4 times after, trying to get in the right spot, and it scared me every time. So, I mean, don't feel bad that you just crapped yourself. Alright, let me hit a few points. The first thing we'll talk about is the character development. Now, if you were watching this as a kid and watched all the movies, you really wouldn't be able to tell that there's character development. But once you get older and you watch these shows, why do I want to keep on calling this thing show? I know it's because I made nothing but anime videos for an entire week, but gosh. Okay. It's a movie. Just saying, if I say show one more time in this video, I am well, besides the fact of mentioning the actual show that they had about this, but I'm ending the video if I say show one more time when talking about the movies. Alright, character development. Poe goes through a lot of character development. He starts to, at the first movie, he starts to have disbelief in himself, oh, I can't do it. And then he realizes that if he puts his mind to it, he can do it. Which is, I know that sounds very simple, but that's just the way that it is. And in the second movie, he figures out that the main villain, kind of got his parents offed. But, he gets a little bit, vengeful to an extent. And then he realizes to, inner peace, things like that. And in the third movie, I forgot, what was it, Family or something like that? I don't know. But I haven't watched these movies in a long time, don't judge me. But there's a lot of character development for Poe and a few others, Tigress. Second thing, action. Now, it is always very entertaining. There's not really any power-ups, really, except for the last movie. There's not really anything very flashy, but for some reason, the action is always good enough to keep you entertained, and it's actually, all the fights are actually really well choreographed, and you can actually, it's not just a bunch of people just flinging hands. It actually looks right and real. But voice acting. Now, they're not screaming to the top of their lungs for 5 hours straight, but they are very good at what they do. Jack Black does his thing for Kung Fu Panda, even though in the show I didn't realize that it's not voiced by Jack Black. And no, I did say show, but it's actually talking about the show, Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. But it wasn't voiced by Jack Black, and I didn't even know it until recently. I just seen it and I was like, wait a minute, he wasn't? Because I watched that when I was way younger, so I mean, I didn't really think that much. I mean, if you're watching this channel for a while, you know that I don't think much anyways, but next thing I want to talk about is how the audience reacts. Anytime there's another Kung Fu Panda movie, they're never oh no, they're going to mess it up. they're like, you know what, this is, I actually can't wait, you know? I mean, I used to watch this when I was a kid, but I still want to see it. Because for some reason, they don't mess up with this. But I do have a feeling if they made another Shrek movie, it wouldn't be good. It's because the last two were weird. I don't think they're bad movies. They're still good, but they're just kind of weird. But, yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the show because I really don't have that much memory of it other than the fact that, you know, I didn't hate watching it. I always watched it, but Kung Fu Panda stands alone. I would watch this over a lot of, you know, new TV shows probably. And movies. And movies. Yeah. Alright, before I say show one more time, I'm going to end this video. Well, if you hated this video, make sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, also make sure to subscribe. Ha, got you. Now everyone has to subscribe. And if you made it this long, you get a cookie. You know what? No, this is Kung Fu Panda. You get a dumpling. Alright, dumplings can be very good sometimes too. Alright, so yeah. I ain't got much left to say, except